I quit my $170,000 per year job, cold turkey, without a backup plan, in July of 2023. I genuinely liked the people that I worked with, had a corner office with everything I needed to succeed, and I enjoyed many aspects of the job. I was performing at a high level and fresh off a shiny new promotion. And I'm sure that this decision did not make a lot of sense from the perspective of an outsider looking in. Especially those that knew that I was 41 years old with 2 kids, a wife, and a mortgage. But there's a lot more to this story, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video. I hope it will inspire you to tackle any big life decisions you may be facing now or in the future. Before we dive in, please give that like button a gentle tap and drop me a comment below with any thoughts that come to mind throughout this video. I love the back and forth. Let's do the thing. Background. I have been a step behind in life since the day that I graduated high school. I went to college late at 23, had kids and got married late, and didn't get my first real career job until I was 28 years old. I received my master's degree in accounting and got that first job at Boeing in that same year. I'm not an emotional person to the point that my friends will pick on me for being a robot, but I nearly broke down when I got the job offer because I finally did something right in life. I felt like I was on top of the world. After working hard to skill up, particularly in my reporting game, I received many promotions and was even poached by a couple companies along the way. Somewhere along the way, I transitioned from accounting to finance because I love digging into the financial statements a lot more than I enjoyed doing typical accounting work. Fast forward 13 years, and I'd put myself in a great position that would have been incredibly easy to coast my way to retirement while building generational wealth for my family. But as the title to this video implied, I didn't take that path. Let's talk about it. Fulfillment. I came into my first job at Boeing going 100 miles per hour. I wanted to prove to myself and to others that Boeing made a good decision when they hired me. I'm the type that likes to streamline processes to make things easier. I'll put in more hours up front to be able to coast and go into easy mode later on. I quickly realized that I could do my required job in 2 to 3 hours a day, and I noticed that the others around me would stretch that same work into a full workday. I finally understood how things worked after working 4 different positions over my first 7 years. Corporate America is not overly fulfilling for most of us. Many of us are simply working for a paycheck, if we're being honest. And we may genuinely like what we do. For example, I genuinely like putting together and analyzing financial statements in my last job. But I was doing it to make somebody else rich. Typically, these people are greedy CEOs or owners that are already disproportionately well off compared to most other people. And they usually pinch every penny they can get away with from the people that are getting them there. One positive and exploitable trait about me is that I never worried about taking credit for the work that I did. I just wanted to make things better, but it's also what enabled people to use me to make their dreams a reality. Grind more hours, put more money in their pockets. Create innovative solutions to increase production, put more money in their pockets. Then you hear things like, that assignment is due today no matter what, or else. And it hit me one day, or else what? Why? And yet people always bragged about putting in more and more hours compared to their coworkers. It just never felt right to me, and I felt bad for them more than anything. We're scratching and clawing each other to achieve the rich owner's dreams over our own desires. If you don't think about your own goals, what you really want, someone else will swoop you up to build theirs. I continued to skill up and add as much value as possible. Eventually I realized I was away from my family for over 10.5 hours per day. Thankfully, reading is one of my favorite hobbies. I finally cracked the code after reading over 100 books on habit forming, personal finance, productivity, and biographies about the most brilliant minds of their time. I noticed that every single person runs into the exact same constraint, regardless of their status or wealth: time. I will never again be as young as I was when I started this sentence. Time is an absolute constant that none of us control. I started to think about my typical day. It looks something like this. I'd wake up, do push-ups and abs, get ready for work in about an hour. The commute plus work time was about 10.5 hours. A workout after work was about an hour. Dinner was about 30 minutes. Getting ready for bed and sleeping is about 8 hours. Time remaining for loved ones and fun activities, about 3 hours per day. We all have different life flows and responsibilities, and you may have more or less free time in your typical day than I did, but we all have the same 24 hours to work with, and again, that is set in stone. We should ask this question first, regardless of what our current day looks like. What moments do I look forward to throughout the day? Somewhere along the way, I got hit with the perspective that life is simply too short to do things that I don't care about. I quit my job before it was too late when I finally realized that it's never going to feel like the right time. I wish I figured things out sooner in life, and that's why I'm making this video now. Perhaps you currently have a little more flexibility in your life to start making your dreams a reality. I don't know if I'll live to be 80, 100, or 41, but I envision an older version of me shaking a head full of regrets for all the things that I was too scared to try. We often don't try things because of the fear of failure. People will think we look stupid when things don't work out. Something tells me that older version of ourselves on our deathbed couldn't care less about what those people think. We should follow our dreams, but not blindly. Plan first. It's easy to talk to your friends and family about your dreams and aspirations before ever acting on them. You know, how you wish life was going. I do think that is an important step. Keep company with those that entertain your ideas and do some brainstorming with you. There's a lot of haters that will cut you down, and they're simply a waste of your time. It's important to take the proper amount of time to plan your path that will help you reach your dreams. We often don't know what we really want without reflection. And once you have a goal of where you're going, it's important to map out a battle plan of how to get there. This doesn't have to be quitting your job out of the clear blue and taking a leap of faith. Who in the right mind would do something like that? In all seriousness though, I really did plan this move for years. My wife and I saved and invested enough money over the years to allow me to take this crazy bet on myself. And she has a great job that can keep us afloat as I figure things out. I'm giving myself 3 years to figure this thing out before diving back into the working world. If you enjoy or can tolerate your job, keep plugging away. Keep saving and investing money for your future. But I know you have other long-term desires, so keep reading and learning about and practicing your craft on the side for the time being. The goal here is to eventually be able to find something that makes you happy on Monday through Friday, along with your weekends. You don't need to be in a hurry to make any big changes, but you do need to stick with it. Make incremental adjustments to stay on course. Manage your free time better now to get more reps at what you enjoy doing. Even if you have a spouse, kids, and a seemingly crazy life, you can start the journey now. I want to tell you more details about why I am here right now. My dream. I became fascinated with math, statistics, and things like compound interest during my college days. Personal finance hadn't specifically spoken to me at this point, and it wouldn't until years later. I was writing my low-cost S&P 500 fund in my 401k as my only investment. But the seed of interest was planted. I was far from perfect out of the gate, and that's being very generous to myself. I was debt-ridden and way behind the 8 ball in my late 20s. I began to clean up my act financially over the next few years. The solutions were simple. Pay off my debt, don't buy things I can't afford on a credit card, and make investing a bill each and every month. As I progressed in my career, I started to notice that the people around me were clueless when it came to personal finance. And keep in mind, I was in accounting and finance, so this is a bit frightening. I started helping my friends and family members with their personal finance on the side, and they were genuinely dumbfounded with how simple it was to build wealth. They would sincerely ask me things like, "So I don't even have to do anything?" after getting them set up properly. Seeing the people around me succeed financially brings me a ton of joy. I don't know what it is about it specifically, but it just fills my cup. I got addicted to helping people with personal finance when I saw just how impactful it could be for just one single person. And then I started brainstorming ways that I could scale this operation. Your dreams are likely different than mine, and that's what makes the world so fun. Whatever they are, start living a purpose-driven life that makes progress towards a more fulfilling future. And don't worry what someone may think if you were to fail. You'll have plenty of quality people to pick you up as long as you are authentic. If you're not ready to make any big moves now, that's fine too. Just keep thinking about it. You'll eventually find what drives you and your time will come. Please share this video if you found it helpful. I want to provide a positive impact to as many people as possible. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why I quit my job to start this YouTube channel. Check out one of these videos right here if you want to learn more about carving a path to your financial freedom. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you here each and every Thursday, and usually on a Sunday. Peace.